Hello and welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live watch along of Leeds United versus Brentford FC. Apologies for the late start here. I've just been seeing my family for the last time before Christmas, and I've only just got home just now. So that, of course, is a large upgrade for Brentford in terms of their lineup. So I will change that now. So you just have to bear with me just a second. Unfortunately, hopefully for the next stream we should be nice and on time. But for now, we should be okay. Oh look, it looks like YouTube Studio has a bit of an update. Let's set the super chat goal for the first 45 minutes of the game. Leeds might continue. Right, so I'll tell you what, I'll set that goal, and then I am going to set the lineups very shortly. Players are getting ready to head out onto the pitch. The most important one is the Leeds lineup, so I'll do that first. And also, to be honest, that's the most easy one to change. So I'll sort that for you just now, so you can see what the Leeds lineup is, and then of course we can talk about the lineup as well during the game. Here we go, Leeds United. Perry, number 2 should be Bogle, not Sebastian Bornau, who came on late against Liverpool. Then you've got Rodon, Biol. Oh, it's good to see that he's sticking with this formation, even though we're playing against a team who is maybe a little bit of a lesser opposition. Tanaka, Stack, and it should be Ethan Ampadu. And then, of course, Calvert-Lewin and Okafor is up front. There he is, Mr. Noah Okafor. Of course, Mecha still injured at the moment. But there we go. There's the Leeds United lineup. I will talk to the chat in just a second as well. But, of course, let me just get the Brentford lineup down, and we should be all right. As you can see, the Leeds lineup is there for you to have a look at and discuss. I will be ready very, very shortly, hopefully just in time for kickoff, because I think we're just about to go to an ad break on Sky. Oh, here's the lineup. They just do it in a very weird way. Kelleher, Hickey, Vandenberg, who we expected to play. He talked about him in the preview. When they're playing against one striker, Vandenberg will actually step into midfield to be an extra man in there to help out. But I think playing against 2 strikers for Leeds, he might be pinned back a little bit in this game. Coyote, then another fullback. Then in midfield, they've got... I'll tell you what, I'll do it as I'm talking so you can have a look at it. And in midfield, it's not Jones. It is, of course, Jordan Henderson, who we all know very well from watching him for England. Matthias Jensen and Vitali Janelt. And then up front, they have 23, Keane Lewis Potter, Dango Utara. Actually, no, we'll go Igor Thiago, who won a Premier League Player of the Month, by the way. And then number 19, Utara. There we go. Right, okay. We've got the lineups, we've got everything. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So sorry about that. Like I was just saying before, for those of you who've just joined, I've just been seeing my family for the last time before Christmas, so I've only just got home. Apologies for the little bit of the late start, but we are all ready to go now. You can see that is the lineup for Brentford on the screen over there right now. And of course, I will flick back to the Leeds lineup in just a second as well. Hi, everybody who's joining us. Shout out Tim, been a member for 9 months. Thank you so much, Tim. And he recently bought one of the prints from the Etsy store in the description, where you can use code Christmas25 for 15% off. And of course, welcome to everybody who is a member, welcome to everybody who is a non-member, and welcome to everybody as we are about to kick off here at the GTEC Stadium in London. Leeds do not have a great record in London. Let's hope that is something that we can change today. Changing our fortunes recently, playing the 3-5-2. Let's hope that we can continue that run of form today. We are off and underway here at the GTEC Stadium. Here's Coyote. Out wide now to Atara, but that's actually a tackle there by Anton Stack, and it's going to be a throw in to Brentford, who take a long throw in towards the box, which I did mention in the tactical preview. If you don't watch the tactical previews, it's a good way to see how the opposition might try to attack Leeds, and it gives you a good idea, like I said, of a lot of the things you're going to actually see in the game. But here's Okafor coming forward now. Okafor to take the ball out past Coyote. Coyote with a good tackle, though, in the box, and Brentford are able to clear the ball through Jordan Henderson, although Goodmanson manages to cut out that pass towards Dango Utara down the wing there, and Leeds pick up the ball again. Welcome everybody who is joining us. Coincidentally, I have picked the actual shirt that Leeds are playing in today, which is helpful. By the way, if you do want anything from the official Leeds store, use my code in the description, my link in the description, sorry, for any Christmas presents or whatever, and I get a small kickback at no extra cost to you. Here's Igor Thiago over on the left-hand side in the corner, playing that back to Hickey, and that's actually going to be a tackle by Tanaka that's going to take it out for a throw-in to Brentford, and it's going to be another long throw-in here from Coyote, who's come over from the right-back position to take this. So it's definitely a tactic that they'll try and employ, as well as Leeds, of course, doing the same thing through Ethan Ampadu. Coyote seems to be the one who comes across to take these long throw-ins, but Leeds have probably practiced a lot defending these, considering we take them. That's a very long throw into the box there from Brentford, but it's headed on to the roof of the net by Collins there, and it's going to be a Leeds goal kick that Perry can take. By the way, Lucas Perry's hair transplant has worked remarkably well, hasn't it, since he came in that Everton game. I think he just had it done then, or just had it done over the summer, and he's got a full head of hair now. Goodmanson with a ball to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin pushed over there by Collins. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds, just on the halfway line there. Here is Pascal Strauch. Carries the ball towards the halfway line. Here's Gabby Goodmanson now. Back now to Pascal Strauch. Now back to Lucas Perry. Plays that one out to Yakabio. Like I said, I think this formation massively helps us out building up from the back as well. Just always having that extra defender in Yakabio to sit centrally so that Strauch and Rodon can get the ball out wide and play it forward to the fullbacks. It also frees up Ampadu not to have to drop between the centre-backs, and he can play a lot more of his time in midfield, which I think he prefers doing, and it seems to have improved his performances as well. So long ball forward there from Brentford. Utara's pass is wayward though, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in over on the right-hand side for Jayden Bogle to go and take. Having said that, it's actually going to be Joe Rodon to take it. Rodon then is getting ready to take this long throw-in down the line. The most popularly searched footballer in Buenos Aires, Joe Rodon. That's going to be a foul there by Tanaka, I think it was, and it's going to be a Brentford free kick just inside the Brentford half. Ball forward there from Henderson, and it's going to bounce all the way through to Lucas Perry. Away form, Leeds United are very, very low down for all stats in terms of our away form. Here's Anton Stack. Hopefully we can improve that a little bit today. Here's Pascal Strauch. Now Ampadu, knocked back to Yakabiyol now, who takes a touch and looks up. Tanaka, who's dropped in, receives the ball. Carrying it forward here, Tanaka looking for an option. He's going to give that one to Goodmanson. Stack made a little run down the line there, but not chosen, and Strauch now gives it to Ampadu, who gives it all the way back to Lucas Perry, who's going to send that one long. Bit aimless though, and it's going to go out for a throw in there for Brentford. Bit of a scrappy opening 5 minutes here. Game's not really settled into any sort of rhythm yet, but we'll have to see how each team deals with this and who really kind of takes the takes the game by the scruff and actually goes for it. I think so, Robert. Half an away game at the Etihad, wasn't there? But other than that, it's been at home. I'm really glad that's a foul there on Goodmanson, who says he's been hurt there. I think it's good to see that he's doing this against Brentford as well, and that it's not just going to be useful against the big teams. I think it's going to be useful against everyone, to be honest. I'm glad that he's sticking with it. Took a bit of a whack there, Goodmanson, but it looked like it'll only be an impact thing. I think it was just shin to shin there. But look, if these footballers wore bigger shin pads, they wouldn't even have these problems. Jacobiol with the ball forward towards Okafor, but he can't quite take that one under his spell there as Brentford play the ball out from the back. Here's Hickey. Long ball cleared down the line, but cleared up by Ampadu. Now Tanaka. Rodon down the line. Gets it back again. Oh, unfortunately, the ball had gone out of play there, so it's going to be a throw-in to Brentford. Forest 3, Spurs 0. Yeah, that is very... it's very annoying to see that, isn't it? Considering that they're around us in the table. That puts us back down to 17th. But if we win today, we will be still 17th, but level on points with Forest. Yeah, look, we're only 3 points ahead of West Ham, so a win today would be massive, really, to get us 6 points ahead of them. But we traditionally don't do very well in London. But the last time we played Brentford away... no, it wasn't the last time. When we said it was not the last time. But one of the last times we played Brentford away, the second to last, penultimate, if you will, we... That was the game where we stayed up with Rafinha's penalty and Harrison's goal from the edge of the box. So there are some good memories of coming to London here. Here is Gabriel Goodmanson. It's gone past Henderson, just dropped it back off with Anton Stack though. Leeds need to find a way through here because Brentford are also capable of dropping into a back five and shutting up shop, really. So it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate at times unless Leeds can find some space here. Stack's done really well there to keep the ball. He's done so well there, Stack. Gets it past Henderson. He's carrying it forward here. Anton Stack, a ball out wide to Goodmanson. Goodmanson tries to play it across the box. Bit of a wayward clearance there by Hickey. Headed away by Coyote. Now Otara. Ampadu can pick it back up, though, and give it to Goodmanson. Goodmanson with a little... back heel, and then Strauch with the ball down the line to Stack. Great ball, great touch. Here's Stack. Goes to shoot, blocked by Collins, almost unknowingly there. This is a little bit more of a sustained period of possession for Leeds. We need to kind of, even though we are playing in this formation, keep hold of the ball. Here's Calvert-Lewin, who tries to square it across the box, and Okafor made the wrong run there. If he'd have run right into the middle of the box, that's 1-0 Leeds. Best chance so far, that really. Really good square ball by Calvert-Lewin. But Okafor's got to go for that middle of the box run there. Yeah, he didn't really look, but yeah, look. If Okafor's there, it's 1-0. He's putting it in a dangerous area without really looking, Calvert-Lewin. I mean, Collins probably should have tried to clear it, but I think he was scared of the own goal. Goodmanson does keep that ball in, but it's bouncing back to Collins, who clears it. Cleared by Henderson. Igor Thiago now out on the right-hand side. Strauch and Biol having to deal with him. He's a big physical unit, Igor Thiago. A real old-fashioned number 9 and target man for Brentford. So Leeds are going to have to be physical to keep him out of the game. Here's Henderson. Back over to Vitaly Janelt. I'm going to sit back a little bit because I feel like I'm all tense and forward, whereas I should be nice and calm, really, as we usually are. Here comes Collins, charging forward here. Ball out wide to Dango Utara. Utara looking for a way to cross the ball in here. Good tackle by Goodmanson, and then eventually a good clearance by Strauch down the line. And that goes eventually all the way back to Vandenberg. Here he is, still carrying the ball. Leeds are backing off and backing off. Ball out wide now, though, to Lewis Potter. Now Janelt. Back to Lewis Potter, and then back again to Sepp Vandenberg. Back to the halfway line where Vandenberg is. You can see Leeds have settled into this, well, in this phase, it's a 5-2-3 actually, with Stack coming up almost to act as a left winger to help with the press. Here's Keane Lewis Potter. I've never seen a winger look more like a fullback in my life, if that makes sense. Here's Dango Utara. Crossed into the box there, headed by Rodon, and then away by Strauch. Anton Stack flicks that one more. And then eventually Janelt will send that flying back to Kevin Kelleher. Here he is again, Kelleher. Back to Janelt. There's Collins. Ball out wide now to Coyote. Back to Collins again. Again, sustained period of possession from Brentford, but, I mean, touch wood, touching my desk, they're not doing that much with it. Long ball forward. That's going to be picked up by Ethan Ampadu now. Now Goodmanson leads with the ball back. Hopefully can string some passes together here. Here's Strauch. There's a sea of red and white shirts ahead of Ampadu here, really, and not much to pass to. Not much movement ahead of him in terms of Leeds players. That's Lucas Perry with a long ball forward. Here's Bogle again. Bogle with a cross into the box. It's deflected. Ball's still available here. It's bounced away, though, in the end. And now Dango Utara plays it back to Coyote. Ball down the line, though, is cut straight out by Strauch. Now Goodmanson. Good ball back to Stack. Leeds maybe with a chance to attack here if Okafor makes the right run. Plays out the other side, though. Here's Jaden Bogle. Bogle does the ball down the line here to Anton Stack. Tries to play it across, but the ball's blocked by Vandenberg. Stack, though, is going to just let that go out for a corner because he knows... we can see you, White Swan. Yeah, I can see that latest one you've just sent. But yeah, that's Anton Stack knows how dangerous we are from corners, so he's happy to let that one go out for one. Strauch, Rodon in the box, as well as Biol. Ball comes in, headed away. Jensen's gone past Tanaka. He's got a run here, but Leeds have got plenty of players charging back, but he's done well, Jensen. He's done really well. He gets the ball out to the opposite side here. Here's Henderson. Over to Coyote, who tries to cross it in, and then Perry can just pick that one up easily. It's giving Jesse Marsh vibes, just that moment there, of us taking a corner and ended up having a shot on our own goal within 10-15 seconds, so we need to make sure we're not getting caught out like that. To be fair, Jensen did very well because we had numbers back, but he managed to get past Bogle, and then his ball out to the other wing was really, really good. So it was a bit of individual class there from Jensen in the midfield to do that, but we still need to be careful that we don't get hit on the break like that. Here's Henderson. Now Vandenberg. Back to Kelleher. Good ball there from Coyote to Vandenberg, who charges forward into the midfield now. Here's Jensen. Ball out wide now to Keane Lewis Potter. Aaron Hickey back again to Lewis Potter, and then Jensen takes a loose touch, which will allow Leeds to come out of the box a little bit. See, again, Brentford, when they're not on the counter-attack, they're a little bit like Leeds in the fact that sometimes you think they're playing a little bit slowly to make any progress, really. Jensen, ball out wide now. Now Aaron Hickey. Deep cross from early, played into the box, headed away by Strauch. Now Ampadu. Good ball from him to Bogle. Bogle with a good touch inside. Bogle tackled in the end, though. He should have just knocked that one to Tanaka and carried on his run and got it back if he wanted to. Here's Strauch heading it away. Now Goodmanson with a clearance. Okafor doing well there as a hold-up man. Not really inside his normal skill set, but he's done well in that case. Here's Ampadu. Little knockdown ball down the line to Anton Stack. Back to Anton Stack again. Now Ampadu. He should have played that to Okafor early had he had the chance there. I think Ampadu is still a little bit within that mindset of, don't give the ball away, don't give the ball away. Sometimes you've got to play that ball forward. The worst that can happen in that case is that their player beats Okafor in a foot race and it's starting again with the goalkeeper. It's not the end of the world, really, if you lose the ball in that situation. You've got to attempt those passes. I know he may have not seen it in that case, but he's got to be a little bit more decisive in those moments, and you've got to sometimes take a risk and be willing to lose the ball. Here's Vandenberg. I think Vandenberg's telling the referee that the ball's gone flat. So we'll have a minute here whilst we get the ball back on the pitch. Right, we're underway again. Here's Vandenberg. Cross now to Coyote. Back again to Collins. Yeah, sometimes he's just got to play that forward ball, Gareth, hasn't he? Even if it's just to knock it over the top for Okafor to run onto, because Okafor's a lot quicker than Metcher and Calvert-Lewin are. He's got a lot more of a fighting chance of actually beating someone to the ball. Even if he has to take it out wide and then you get players in the box to help him out and he knocks it back to Goodmanson whips it in, you've got players in the box then. You've just got to try and get into those forward areas for anything to happen. And Ampadu's sometimes not willing to take that risk to play that pass. Here's Vandenberg. Now Collins. Ball forward here. I've set Leeds to a 4-3-3 on the thing. My apologies. Let me just change that. Coyote's got the ball back here. Henderson. Cross into the box has been blocked by Goodmanson. Back to Coyote again. Ball is crossed in deep, but Perry can pick that one up absolutely easily and rolls it out to Jayden Bogle, who can't quite keep the ball in. It's disappointing there. Just too much on it. There we go. I've changed it to a 3-5-2, so the formation's right. Here's Coyote. Back again to Collins. Now a ball across to Sepp Vandenberg. Here's Collins again. Ball out to Aaron Hickey. Lewis Potter now. Back to a Hickey. Leeds just sitting in the shape here. Happy to let Brentford have the ball in these areas on the halfway line and We'll try to come and get it when it comes a little bit further into the midfield in that kind of mid block that they want to play. Here's Kelleher. Long ball forward from him. Headed away by Yol. Now Bijol again. Gives the ball to Anton Stack. Stack tried to chip it over Coyote's head, but didn't in the end. But he is going to win Leeds a throw-in in the end. Me too, Karen. I think it was the right thing to do. He could have easily folded and gone, oh no, we're only doing that against the big teams because it worked. But I think it just works. In the last 10 minutes, by the way, Brentford have had 82% possession. Leeds have had 18% possession. Ooh, bit of a high foot there from Jensen, I think it was, on Stack. Stack went down screaming. I'll have to see how serious that was on the replay. He was studs up though, wasn't he, Jensen? I don't know, you know. It's not horrendous and it wasn't on purpose, but we've seen that. I think we've seen that punished with a red card before. For dangerous play. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but like definitely not the Cooper one, but like you can see that if it goes slightly differently, that it's a red card. Like if he accidentally hits him in the thigh instead of the foot, I think you're getting a red card because that's a bit like what Cooper did against Man City. Long ball forward from Perry. Not saying it's a blatant red card or anything, but like if that goes slightly differently, the way his studs are, it could really hurt someone. Here's Watara down the right-hand side. Strauch's done well, though, to defend there against him. Ampadu's down here under a challenge just before. Oh, yeah, Ampadu took an elbow to the head from Igor Thiago there. Igor Thiago really looks like someone, and I can't think who it is. Ampadu's up and about, though. He seems to be okay. It's going to be a long throw in here from Coyote. I would say he's got a lot longer of a throw in than Ampadu, by the way, Coyote, the Brentford fullback. Long ball comes in right towards the middle of the 6-yard box. Away by Okafor. Only as far as Jensen, whose shot is eventually cleared after it's been bouncing around in the box there. Here's Jensen. Now Hickey. Early cross deep into the box, headed away by Bijol. Now Stack plays that one out wide for Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Calvert-Lewin, that is a shocking touch. Throw in here to Brentford. Now Collins. Ball across here to Vandenberg. Now Henderson. I find it so random that he went to Brentford, Henderson. Like you would just think Sunderland would make sense, but maybe that's the closest thing he could get, a red and white striped shirt. Here's Collins. Now Coyote. Cutting inside now and dropping that one back off to Vandenberg. Yeah, that touch was absolutely shocking, wasn't it, Tim? Now Collins. Dango Watara here. Looking to try and cross the ball. He goes for a shot from distance. He's caught easily by Lucas Perry there. Yeah, we've had a couple of little moments, haven't we, Robert? But nothing to write home about. And I think the longer this goes on, the less conservative we can afford to be with the ball. Here's Goodmanson with a throw-in. He's got no options, he's saying. Give it back to Strauch and he'll turn around and give it back to Perry. He's throwing it down the line, though. Headed away by Collins. Now Henderson with a bit of a hoof. Headed away by Biol. Goodmanson misses that header, and it's going to be a throw-in to Brentford here. Yeah, exactly, Penny. Do you know what one of the most famous cases of possession versus the final scoreline is when Celtic beat Barcelona, and I think Barcelona had over 80% possession and Celtic won the game. So it's not always everything, is it? It obviously gives you the chance to make more chances, but if you take your chance, the few chances that you do have, you can win any game of football. Here's Lewis Potter. Back to Jensen. Oh, apparently that's a foul by Bogle and Lewis Potter. It wasn't much in it, though. If he's going to give him a yellow card here, then that's ridiculous. I think he's just going to give him a warning, though. Oh, yeah, with Man City versus Palace. Yeah, look, it doesn't always have to be that you dominate the game, does it, to win a game of football? As long as you get the one stat that matters is the one in the top left of the screen. So, obviously, over here it's in the top middle, but on the actual feed it's on top left. So, the free kick then for Brentford. Igor Thiago sits between Rodon and Biol, but doesn't come anywhere near, and it's away in the end. Another ball towards the box here from Henderson, and Bogle can just let that one go out. It's going to be a goal kick to Leeds. Can only hear Leeds fans at the moment. It's not surprising, really. Here is Lucas Perry. Long ball forward from him, headed by Okafor, but then seconds won by Brentford, and then Okafor's on the chase though here. He could get here before the he does, and it's good save there by Kelleher. He gets there before Collins, and his shot is saved by Kelleher. Well done by Okafor to even get himself a chance in that situation. The tenacity to run after that, but now Brentford are over on the left wing. Here's Keane Lewis Potter. Chance to cross the ball in. He does, deep towards the back post. Ouattara plays it back here to Coyote. Another chance for them to cross here. Blocked by Anton Stack. And it's going to be a throw in here to Brentford. Could have been it there from Okafor. It really could. Yeah, he does well there, Okafor, to even get in that position with his pace. But this is what I mean about Ampadu playing a ball forward before. Like, if Okafor's in a run against Collins or Vandenberg, you'd fancy him in that foot race. So put it on them as much as possible. Long throw in here from Brentford. Headed away there by Anton Stack. Now Coyote again. Henderson, first time ball towards the back post. Headed away by Rodon. As long as our three centre-backs can keep concentration in this game and keep winning those headers, we've always got a chance of surviving their long throw-ins and stuff. That long ball by Perry has gone all the way through to Queven Kelleher there. It's going to be a Brentford ball. Here is Jensen, who's dropped into the left-back position and carrying the ball forward at the moment. Now Vandenberg. Collins. Cross now to Coyote. Henderson. Coyote. Back again to Collins. Leeds just only pressing when the ball goes out wide or into a central space here, really. Not putting too much pressure on the actual back line, which is a little bit of a different strategy, because against Chelsea we were actually pressuring the back line as well, hence Okafor's nick of the ball against Tosin Adarabioyo, and then the goal from Calvert-Lewin. Here's Lewis Potter in the box now. Good defending there by a combination of Bogle and Tanaka. Here's Janelt. Now Vandenberg. Coyote. Coyote giving the ball back to Henderson here. Out wide to Ouattara. Leeds have got plenty of players back in the box, and Strout comes and cleans that one up and clears it. Ball stayed in, apparently. It looked like it might have gone out. Here's Kelleher again. Now Vandenberg. At the moment, it's very much Leeds kind of let Brentford have the ball at the back. When they actually try and build up, we try and win it back, and then once we do, we kind of get rid of it, and then it's their ball again. So it's been very Brentford heavy this game so far. Let's throw into Leeds, though. Maybe a chance for us to get the ball for a little while. Gabriel Goodmanson with the throw-in. Down the line towards Calvert-Lewin. Now Tanaka wins that one. Knocks that back towards Calvert-Lewin again. Calvert-Lewin loses a second header. Goodmanson gives the ball away there, but eventually Ampadu can send that ball out to Jayden Bogle. Here's Joe Rodon on the right wing here, carrying the ball forwards. Gives it back to Bogle, probably the sensible thing to do. But the thing is, Rodon can afford to do that in this situation because Ampadu can drop in and make a back three with Biol and Strauch and still be just as secure, really. Here's Okafor out on the left wing, trying to set up a shot opportunity here. Here's Okafor across the box. It's gone away from everybody. I think Kelleher maybe got a touch to it. Here's Stack, who picks the ball back up after a loose pass from Jensen. Now Ampadu. Now Stack again. Oh, don't go backwards, Stack. Rodon. Bogle. Now Jacobillo. Yeah, Okafor does provide that little bit of quality when he gets into those wide spaces. Here's Goodmanson. Goodmanson goes past his man here. Good cross into the box by Goodmanson. Headed away, but picked up again by Anton Stack. Back towards the box. Headed away again, but Anton Stack picks it up again. Tanaka. Strauch. Goodmanson. Back to Strauch again, but this is better from Leeds. All the way back to Perry in the end. That's going to go through everyone again by Perry. His passing needs to get a little bit better in this game, but Okafor's provided the two real moments of quality for us in this half so far. Yeah, it's 1-0 there if not for Kelleher's foot. Kelleher's foot just puts it back towards the edge of the box when it was going straight across the face of goal there. Here's Coyote. The thing is about him, Clive, is he's just the only person who's willing to get the ball and take it past someone. Look, we're talking about the possession. Leeds have had 38% possession, but we've had more shots and more shots on target than Brentford. So this is exactly what we mean. You don't always need to have the possession, especially in an away game as well. You're expected to have less of the ball. You really are. So to do good stuff with it, like, yeah, obviously we need to do better, but I think we've been okay so far. We haven't been good, but we've been okay, been acceptable. Bogle just pressuring his opposition fullback, and it's worked because it was a poor clearance there by Hickey, and then a poor sliced attempt to pass the ball by Keane Lewis Potter. You're a wizard, Keane Lewis Potter. Here is Pascal Strauch. Back to Lucas Perry. Sends that long ball forward. It's only gone to Coyote. Again, a poor misplaced pass there from Lucas Perry. Coyote carrying the ball forward. Here's Jensen. Tanaka and Stack hassling him, but he's got away. He's crossed it towards the back post. They've just given a penalty against us. Ouattara's jumped down to the floor in the box, and Goodmanson... I don't know. I just saw Ouattara fall. I didn't see Goodmanson grab hold of him, but he's pointed to the spot, and it will be checked by VAR. I just don't think that Goodmanson would need to do that. I don't think it's a penalty regardless. I don't think it's a penalty regardless. He doesn't. That's not enough to go down for me. That is not enough to go down. That is not enough for me. He's not even got a hold of his shirt. He's got a flat hand on him. He's got a flat hand on him. There's no pull or anything like that. He's got a flat hand on him. His shirt moves a bit, but it's because it's flat. He's touched him, but it's not enough for me. There's no way. That's not a penalty. It's a contact sport. You're allowed to have physical contact with the opposition player. They're checking if it's offside, which I think it was offside. But I do not think that is enough. That is shocking, because that is, to me, because they're checking the offside, that means that they've already decided that it is a penalty, surely. Yeah, he is offside. But if that had been... If you're telling me that if it wasn't offside, they'd have given that as a penalty, then... There's no chance. Yeah, why? Yeah, if we've got the semi-automated offsides, then why is it taking so long? So they're talking about bloody drawing lines, but his head is... You can clearly see his head's way further than Goodmanson. The only reason why Goodmanson was attempting to grab at him is because Ouattara had got past Goodmanson, so therefore he must be offside. That's the logic here. This has got to be ruled out. It wasn't a penalty and it was offside. So even they can't give this against Leeds. Much as they'd like to. Right, getting a decision here. No penalty. After review, Brentford. Offside. Yeah. Thank God for that, because that would have been an absolutely shocking miscarriage of justice there, because there's not enough contact at all for that to be a penalty. And even if there was, he was offside. So, whew, thank God for that. It's only just as well, you know. Because Goodmanson's knee was nearly in line with his head. But thank God for that, because that would have been a... Look, in a game like this, of fine margins, you don't want to be that to be what splits you. Having said that, if it was the other way around, I'd be taking it all day. But at least I'm self-aware. Yakubiyol with a ball. A great ball, by the way, to Noah Okafor. Coyote there trying to defend against him. Gives the ball back to Anton Stack. Now Ampadu. Stack again with a cross into the box. It's a great cross. Bogle's able to pick it up at the other side. Bogle into the box. Okafor can't quite get there. Good defending in the end by Collins to just put off Okafor's shot there. But again, Leeds with better chances here than what Brentford have had, I would say. Okafor gets unlucky there. All the Brentford fans were singing FVAR, FVAR, but I'm sorry, it was a completely fair decision to turn it over. Good little flick by Bogle there towards Tanaka. Or maybe they're arguing with the whole concept of VAR because they would have had a penalty because it wouldn't have been overturned. Here's Coyote coming forward again down the right-hand side. Back to Jordan Henderson. Now Collins. Yeah, but it's not just about contact. It's about the type of contact, isn't it? That's a foul there by Goodmanson on Coyote, and it's going to be a free kick to Brentford here. Yeah, look, yeah, he makes contact with him, but still, we've all got eyes. We could all see that that wasn't a penalty. If he had a big hold of his shirt like that and he pulled him or tripped him, I'm saying, yeah, fair enough. He shouldn't have done that. But I think, like, just having physical contact, like, you're fighting to get to the ball. You're allowed to have physical contact. That's the ball now with Vandenberg. Yeah, he was already going down as well. Here's Collins. Here's Kelleher with the long ball forward after a bit of pressure by the Leeds front line. Headed by Ouattara, though, is picked off by Strauch, who has given the ball straight to Hickey. Henderson with a little flick ball to Keane Lewis-Potter, who's in the box here. He shoots. Good save by Lucas Perry. Really good save by Lucas Perry here. Picked back up by Coyote, though. Ball into the box there is over everybody by Henderson, but headed back out to the edge of the box. Thiago plays that one back, though, to Hickey. Ball out wide again to Dango Ouattara. His ball to Jensen now. Jensen back to Ouattara. That's going to be a Leeds goal kick there after Ouattara touches it out of play. Yeah, it wasn't a great clearance by Strauch, but it was enough, and we have got the ball back now with this goal kick. Farker having some sort of animated discussions with his coaching staff there. Long ball forward by Perry is straight to Keith Andrews there. Perry, I think it was in the Liverpool game. It was either the Liverpool game or the Chelsea game where we had like a ridiculously successful long ball pass completion because of Metcher and Calvert-Lewin up front. But in this game, Perry's passing has been absolutely shocking. I'm not talking about his supposed like his short building up play either. I'm talking about his long passes aren't even in the area. Like, they keep going into touch. They aren't even in the area for Calvert-Lewin to run to try and take down. Here's Ampadu. Good ball from him to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin crosses it in with his left foot. Tanaka heads it. Okafor just over the bar in the end. So unlucky there for Leeds. Okafor, I think it came at him fast, but potentially I think he should be doing better with that. Nah, he should be doing better with that, Okafor, I think. I think he needs to... Yeah, it's not an easy chance, but he needs to jump a bit to try and get over the ball. Long ball forward here from Kelleher towards Igor Thiago. Jacobillo does well there against Thiago. Now, Ampadu sends that one forward. Tanaka heads it towards Calvert-Lewin. Here's Anton Stack now. Now Goodmanson. Strauch. Back across now to Jacobillo. Oh yeah, I need to remember to add the time on when it comes up. That's Collins just putting it out of play there. It's a throw into Leeds in the Ampadu long range territory. just as we approach the 45-minute mark. Ampadu getting ready to take this long throw in now then. He wanted a different ball, Ampadu. I think maybe he thought the other one would be drier. Three minutes of added time onto this first half, everyone. Just 3. Just for that VAR check, I think. It's the only real time there's been a stoppage, I think, other than maybe a few little injuries, little impact injuries. Away by Igor Thiago. Now Ampadu. Ampadu with another attempted cross towards the back post. Strauch tries to get on the end of it, but can't quite. Here's Tanaka. Oh, he just let Tutara have it. You've got a challenge for that, really. Here's Hickey. Now back to Vandenberg. Cross now to Coyote. Now he's Jordan Henderson. Into Aaron Hickey. Henderson. I've seen this at multiple stadiums now. There's advertisements going up the actual steps in the stands that change and stuff. Here is Vandenberg. Now Hickey. Now Jensen. Cross now to Collins, who's made a bit of a charge forward here. Here's Jordan Henderson. Out wide now to Coyote. Coyote looking for a chance to cross here. Henderson has to go all the way back now to Jensen and then eventually to Vandenberg. Here's Jensen again. You have to go all the way back to the goalkeeper there from Leeds' good defensive structure, forcing them to go back with no real options to go forward. Here's Kelleher. Here's Coyote. Yeah, look, and you could say, and I think it would be fair to say that we've been fairly standoffish in this first half and basically said, right, try and break us down and we'll hit you on the break. And I would say we've definitely had the better chances than in the game. So if we are to push a little bit in the second half, there's every chance that we go ahead and score and we can protect that lead then. It's going to be a throw in here to Brentford. Here's Henderson with an attempt to cross into the box. Goodmanson can try and clear this now. Goodmanson in the end tackled, and it's going to be a throw in to Brentford. Long throw in here. Leeds need to keep concentration in this in these final moments of this first half, because this is going to be a long throw here. Coyote then with the long throw. Good tackle by Tanaka there. And then a poor pass from Brentford. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Let's pause. That is the end of the first half. I'll just fill up my water bottle and stuff, and then we'll come back and have a chat about what went on in that first half. I will be back very shortly. So see you all in a short while. Hello, everyone. I would say welcome back, but it's me who left, not you guys. Look, I don't think that's a bad first half, and I think that Farke's gone away here to Brentford with a game plan of saying, look, we're going to be really hard to break down, really hard to beat, and if you sort of try to break us down, we will hit you on the break and we'll come and try and score up the other end. And I think so far that game plan's been okay. I think the further we get into this game, though, the more that this goes on, the more that this goes on is more like we might have to push for it a little bit later on and throw slightly more players forward as the game goes on. But for now, I don't think this is bad at all. I think we've been competent, if not impressive. And I think that Okafor's been our danger man, but we need to try and release him more, because in a foot race, against Collins or Van den Berg, I think Okafor's got the beating of them. So if you can get that ball into the channel, yeah, it'll really put the pressure on that Brentford backline and maybe give us a chance of scoring, especially if Calvert-Lewin can get in the box, because a lot of the play that Calvert-Lewin has had has been having to run down the wing and cross the ball in the box, when really you want Calvert-Lewin to be the player in the box finishing things off. So at the moment, there's just a few things that are slightly out of place, but could easily change in that second half. You can see that one of their main things is their long throws. Usually they try and play on the counter-attack, but Leeds aren't really allowing that much, because we're allowing them the ball a lot more, so they don't really get that. But yeah, they play fairly direct football up to Igor Thiago, but our defenders have done very well to defend that. I talked about that in the tactical preview, how I think that Leeds are almost I don't want to say a perfect team to play against Brentford, but Leeds are a good match for Brentford because they rely on a lot the physicality of somebody like Igor Thiago up front, bullying around some of the modern type centre-backs, if you will, in the Premier League. Whereas I think actually when you see Leeds' backline, it's quite old-fashioned with that back three. And you see players like Rodon, Bijol and Strauch, and they will just win headers all day. And Igor Thiago's not really had a sniff so far. Obviously, if he does something in the second half, then whatever. But like at the moment, he's not really had a sniff, because those three are very, very physical and very capable of winning aerial balls, which is what Igor Thiago's whole game is really in terms of the build-up phase. And like I said as well, usually Sepp van den Berg likes to step into midfield. Usually, if he likes to step out into midfield against one striker, but if there's two strikers, it pins them back a little bit. And I think it's putting a little bit more pressure on Collins, because it's going 2 against 2. And I think that means that Van den Berg can't come over and help with Okafor, because he's got to deal with Calvert-Lewin. So the more we can get Okafor isolating Collins and having just a one-on-one with those two, then it's going to make a big difference in terms of our attacking output. But as for the moment, I think we've done all right, but I'd like to see us potentially push a little bit more as the game goes on. Maybe not straight away, but as the game goes on, I'd like to see us push a little bit harder for that first goal in this game. Obviously earlier, earlier in the day, there were some other games, and yesterday as well. We can go through the results from this week. Yesterday, Chelsea beat Everton 2-0. Liverpool beat Brighton 2-0. Fulham beat Burnley 3-2, which obviously is good for us. Arsenal beat Wolves 2-1, which is good for us. City beat Palace 3-0. Sunderland beat Newcastle today 1-0 in the earlier kickoff. Forest beat Spurs 3-0, and Villa thankfully came back to beat West Ham 3-2 after West Ham were on top in that one, winning 2-1 at one point. So as it stands, Villa go up into third position, just 3 points behind league leaders. Arsenal, City as well, up there as well with 34 points. Palace going up into fifth place, even though they lost today. Liverpool, of course, getting a win puts them back within touching distance of the top four. Newcastle lost to Sunderland, and Sunderland are up in seventh. Newcastle down in 12th. It was an own goal by Nick Woltemade, a bullet header that came off the crossbar and went in his own net. And of course, down the bottom end, West Ham losing puts them firmly in that 18th place position. You've got Burnley on 10 points, Wolves on 2 points still. We don't really need to worry about Wolves, but Burnley are 6 points off us. West Ham are 3 points off us. But if we can win this game, if we can get a win in this game, it's massive because it puts a big wedge between us and the bottom three. It puts us on 18 points, which would be 8 points clear of Burnley and 5 points clear of West Ham. So it would be a big result if we were to get some points, more than 1 point in this game as well. Our next games being, let me just get Leeds United up. Our next games being against Palace and Sunderland is massive as well. Even though Palace and Sunderland are both flying high and doing really, really well, I think 7th and 6th, you'd still like to think, given the quality of the actual individual players, Leeds have got more of a chance against them than the likes of Liverpool and Scum that are coming up after that, followed by Newcastle. So yeah, hopefully Leeds can start to pick up some more points here. If we can today, it would be absolutely massive. Welcome everybody who's joining or coming back as well. Leeds United 0, Brentford 0 at the moment, and Leeds United hoping to continue this good run of form in the 3-5-2 system in this one. And like I was just saying then, if we can get those 3 points, it would be massive to be able to stay clear of that drop zone. I'm sure that we will be back very, very shortly in this one. We kicked off at 4:30, didn't we? So we should be kicking off again very, very soon. We're getting some actual video from inside the Brentford changing room there of Keith Andrews giving them instructions. It's weird that they've got their own. So in the Brentford, for those of you not watching, in the Brentford change room, they've got a picture of themselves above, like a big square above their locker, basically where they sit in the changing room, with their face on it. It's like half their face like this, the other half like shrouded in darkness, and then it says like Sepp Vandenberg or Mikkel Damsgaard or whatever. But it'd be kind of weird going and sitting below your own, a massive relief of your own face. Hello, cat. Just had Luna the cop cat has just arrived. Hello. She's just come in for a few strokes. Like Sujal saying, we must not concede early in the second half. We've made a bit of a habit of that this season, haven't we? As soon as the second half starts conceding. So let's hope we don't do that today, and that we give ourselves a fighting chance by just lasting the first 10 minutes of the second half and then going out and doing something. Is that Oh, that is Lewis Potter. I just didn't recognise him. I thought they'd made a substitute, but it's Keane Lewis Potter. I just don't think I'd ever really seen his face before. Yeah, Igor Thiago hasn't had a shot and hasn't had a touch in the opposition's box. So I was right, really, on my gut feeling about that first half for him. Really, he's not really had a sniff because of Leeds' backline being so strong aerially. Look, if we can get a set piece even... I'm talking about us trying to isolate Okafor against Collins and trying to get him past him, but realistically, a set piece is all we really need with this team now. So if we can get into a position where we're taking a lot more corners, you've always got a chance that one goes in. If you're new here, by the way, make sure you hit that sub button. I can't, sorry, Penny, she's disappeared again. I know she's on the top of a cat tree, so I don't want to disturb her. 1 second. No halftime changes. Just about to kick off again here. We're underway again. Leeds have knocked the ball back to Lucas Perry and are all running forward here, which was a bit of an odd kick-off routine as the ball just goes back to Rodon from the header. Here's Noah Okafor. Now Jayden Bogle. Good ball from him into Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin back here to Jayden Bogle. Now Rodon. Long cross there from Ampadu, headed away by Coyote. I think it might have been Ouattara, actually. Header on there. Calvert-Lewin trying to hold it up. He feels like he was pulled down in the box, and then Stack's shot is dragged wide in the end. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin thinks he was pulled down there. I'm not sure there was enough contact. If I'm saying about the other one at the other end that I don't think that was a penalty, then I'm not sure I can say that this one was a penalty. Long ball forward though by Kelleher, headed away by Rodon. That doesn't mean to say that the lack of consistency with refereeing in the league won't give us that penalty, but in this case, I don't think so. Kelleher clears that one first time as the ball's knocked back to him. Igor Thiago wins the header as he comes a bit deep for it. Ampadu, though, wins that one back well. Here's Stack charging forwards. Stack into the box now. Tries to cross it in, but wins leads a corner kick. Like I said, that's just what we need to do. Keep winning the corner kicks. Keep winning those set pieces and keep putting that ball in the box. Putting the pressure on Brentford to deal with those. Not only is it physically tiring to have to get back and defend all those corners and then try and get forward again, it's also mentally tiring having that concentration to make sure you win the ball every single time, and eventually they just might crack. Ball comes into the box, punched away by Kelleher. Tanaka's shot dragged wide in the end, and that's going to be a goal kick to Brentford. Yeah, and maybe that's a conscious thing, Robert. I think that potentially because of what we've seen in the other games where we've gone and conceded early on in the second half, that perhaps we actually are purposely going to push a little bit and say, do you know what, we're going to put the pressure on you in those opening moments of the second half. Here come Brentford, though, picked off by Ampadu. Well done from him, and then across to Jayden Bogle as he carries the ball forward. Here is Bogle, still going. Little dinked cross towards the box there, headed away by Collins, but only as far as Anton Stack. Stack goes to shoot, and they blocked there by Coyote. Leeds fans asking for a handball, but I think his arms were down by his side. Here's Goodmanson. Now Ampadu. Good ball into Okafor's feet. Back now to Tanaka. Rodon's an option, but he said he goes the other way and gives it to Strauch. Now Stack. Tanaka. Check complete on the handball. No handball. Stack now across to Ampadu. Now Strauch. Ampadu. Now Okafor. Out on the left wing up against Collins and Coyote. Now Ampadu. Cross into the box. Headed by Calvert-Lewin. One of those little flicked backwards headers. It was always easy for Kelleher to take that one under his control. Yeah, his arms were down by his. It did hit him on the elbow, but his arms were down by his side there, Coyote, and it was very close. The cross was very close by, so I think it's a fair decision not to give that one. Here's Jacobiol. Now Strauch. Okafor's done well there to keep the ball. He's looking for a passing option, though. He's done really well there to spread the ball out wide to Bogle. Bogle's got Hickey isolated here, and he's got plenty of room to run into. I tried to play the ball into the box. It's blocked, though. Here's Rodon out on the right wing, picking it up. He's going to give that to Ampadu for the long throw-in, though, I think. I mean, it doesn't look quite as good, does it? When Ampadu does the long throw-ins when you've got Coyote on the pitch, who has clearly been doing longer long throw-ins than him. So when Ampadu does his, it's just like, yeah, they don't really go as far. But here he is. Let's hope he throws it far this time. I mean, that was a good one, right into the middle of the box. Here's Anton Stark, who goes for the volley, headed away. Vanderberg headed that one. Ball's bobbling around still. Thiago, and then cleared eventually by Brentford there. Oh, bad tackle on Tanaka by Hickey there. Oh, Bogle's got the ball back, though. And then Bogle goes down there and wins Leeds a free kick. I think that was a foul, the first one by Hickey on Tanaka. A chance for Leeds to put the ball back towards the box, though. Yeah, it is a foul, that, on Tanaka. I think that should have been probably a free kick and a yellow card for me. Just the way he came in so aggressively, and it was studs up on the side of his leg. Stack then with a crossed free kick from deep. Really poor delivery. But Leeds are going to pick the ball up again. Here's Rodon. Ball down the line to Okafor is picked off by the other number 19, Ouattara. Now Henderson tries to come forward, but Ampadu picks it off. Oh, Tanaka's fallen over and given the ball back to be honest, I'm glad out of everyone it was Henderson who got the ball then, because he's not going to run down the pitch and score, is he, from the halfway line? Yeah, Virgil, I think definitely there's... I don't think there's been any cards yet so far, Robert. But yeah, Virgil, I think Leeds have definitely made a conscious decision to put the pressure on Brentford from the start of this second half, just to say we're not going to sit off and let you come and attack us and score. Is Jacobillo. Now Tanaka. Strauch. Tanaka again. Now Calvert-Lewin comes and drops that back off with Tanaka. Goodmanson's pass cut out, but he's going to let that go for a throw-in and then give it back to Strauch. Yeah, it's a bit inconsistent, isn't it, to be honest? Second half, Leeds have had 5 shots, 1 on target, 5 touches in the opponent's box and 80% possession. Brentford had 0 shots, 0 on target, 0 in the opposition box and 20% possession. So there's been a real switch in impetus here as Stack comes and picks off Coyote again there. Leeds are really putting the pressure on here. Here's Tanaka, giving the ball away, though, and here's Kelleher, who's just going to clear that one. Yeah, you could see at half-time Keith Andrews really giving instructions to his Brentford players, but so far it's been all Leeds in this second half. Here's Jacobillo. I find it weird how football games do kind of ebb and flow, and Leeds were really not on the ball very much in that first half. But it's just weird, isn't it, how it can change around? Like, it's almost like a hive mind, a collective consciousness that all of the Brentford players aren't going to have the ball as much, and all of the Leeds players are going to have the ball more. It's odd, really, because who really kind of makes that decision is the players on the ball whether they keep it enough. But it's like they all start to make more mistakes. Cross across the box there by Ouattara is caught there by Lucas Perry. Yeah, exactly, Virgil, and I think it's important as well that we get away from the. It's important that we get away from the chasing pack. We are just above the drop zone, but to win this game puts us 8 points clear of 18th and 5 points clear of 17th. Sorry, 19th and 18th, respectively, is what I meant to say there. We are 17th. Mikael Damsgaard is warming up for Brentford. What happened with Archie Gray? Someone let me know. Jensen has gone down here, holding his leg. Ampadu's just gone across and taken some Lucozade from the physio pack from the opposition. He literally asked the physio, said, "Can I have a bit of that?" And he went, "Yeah, no problem." And he's like, "Oh, sound." Just drank a bit and then put it back and then asked Jensen if he was all right and then left. That must be an Airbnb that looks over the G-Tech Stadium, by the way, because there's Leeds fans in the top floor of this of the flat block that overlooks the pitch, so they're watching it for free. He had a howler to allow a point-blank goal. Oh, well, it's going to happen, isn't it, to young players every now and again? Jensen's making his way off at the moment. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent substitution quite yet. I think Forest were winning that anyway, though, weren't they? Here is Kelleher. A couple of subs getting ready for Brentford, including Damsgaard, but also Rico Henry as well. Here's Bogle coming forward now with the ball. Tanaka ahead of him. He needs options here, really. He hasn't got much to pass to, Bogle. And in the end, he's going to have to go backwards. Give the ball to Ampadu Rodon. And yeah, he's got a little bit of space to have a look around. Here's Strauch. Now Goodmanson. Oh, good block by Stack, but it's not quite enough to get the ball off Henderson. But then again, a loose touch by Jensen and Leeds are able to get the ball back. It's like they've collectively decided that they don't want the ball. That was a foul the whole time by Coyote on Goodmanson there. He had a right fistful of his shirt. Bogle trying to win the ball back there off Keane Lewis Potter, but he plays that one back successfully in the end to Sepp van den Berg. Here's Coyote. Now Henderson. Ball down the line there by Ouattara. Tried to go past Goodmanson, ended up just running into Goodmanson and went down, but the referee's not giving anything. Long ball down the line there is headed away. Here is Aaron Hickey now. Yeah, the little... Oh, nope, definitely not. I think he did that after the potential penalty as well, Goodmanson. And it wasn't a penalty. Goodmanson's done well there to take that, and that is going to be... It should have been a free kick to Leeds. The referee did play our advantage because the ball was going to go back to the Leeds goalkeeper just so that he didn't have to give a free kick, but... Oh, Perry's lucky there, though, if he hadn't have done that. Ball down the line here to Ouattara again. Goodmanson just trying to stop that. Ooh, Goodmanson with a little, a little kick there at Ouattara. I don't think he meant to, but... I think he just tried to stop him playing the ball there, Goodmanson, but he's just kicked him in the side of the foot. I don't think it was... There's not too much in it. If he got himself a yellow card... He screamed Ouattara when he went down, but there wasn't much in it. It was a bit of a toe punt to the inside of the boot there. So it looks like Damsgaard and Rico Henry are getting prepared to come on here. I'll change that when it happens. Free kick for Brentford then. Henderson takes it short here to Janelt. Ball towards the back post, drifts over everybody safely, and Leeds will love watching that just drift out for a goal kick. Well, some substitutions now for Brentford. Lewis Potter coming off for Damsgaard. And Aaron Hickey is coming off for Rico Henry. Although I'm not sure what number Rico Henry is. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. There we go. Henry is number 3. There you go. There's some changes. I'll leave that on the screen just for a short while so that people are aware of the changes. No subs from Leeds yet, though. Oh, that's a terrible clearance there by Collins. Good feet there by Bogle. He keeps the ball and gives it back to Jacoby eventually. Not essentially, eventually. Back now to Lucas Perry, whose long ball is a bit closer to Calvert-Lewin this time. Oh, Calvert-Lewin's just backing in to try and win the ball, and he's been given a free kick against him. Not sure there was much in that, to be honest. Here's Coyote. Yeah, completed at 48. That does happen a lot, doesn't it, for us this season, is managers changing something and it changes the effect of the game. Although, bringing on Damsgaard, I'm not sure if that's much of a tactical change. He has come on the wing, but then potentially I think he might be drifting inside a little bit to play as a number 10, and they might put Ouattara up front with Thiago. So yeah, there may be a few little changes, but we've left Brentford's lineup on the screen for long enough. Here's Leeds. Collins is going to play that one all the way back to Kelleher, who plays it across to Rico Henry under a bit of pressure there from Bogle, and eventually he just has to knock it out for a throw-in, and that's going to be a Leeds throw. It's going to be a throw-in now to Leeds, and Ethan Ampadu is going to come and try and throw that one in towards the 6-yard box as well, where there seems to be a lot of players waiting here from a Leeds point of view. Players waiting to run in as well. Ball comes into the box. Back out to Ampadu again as it's headed away. Ampadu to Tanaka, who's shot crossed towards the boxes, deflected away, and then eventually there's a lot of headers to clear it, but not very far, because here's Anton Stack. Stack goes to shoot, blocked by Collins. Goodmanson down the line here. Goodmanson's gone past Coyote. He's tried to go past Coyote, but he can't quite. The ball's not going to roll out, though, so Henderson is going to have to clear. And that's going to go out for a Leeds throw in there. Yeah, Leeds throw in then. It's 65 minutes or so. I'm expecting that we might make some changes, but let's have a little look at who we've actually got on the bench, because at the moment we haven't got any Dan James who can add that massive injection of pace. Let's have a little look at the bench. For Leeds, our options are, of course, Darlow in goal. Byram, Justin, Bornau, Gruev, Harrison, Aronson, Nonto and Piru. So Nonto and Piru, your only real attacking options, to be honest, in this one. Was Aronson not on the bench then? Did I read Aronson's name out? Throw in by Stack. Oh, Goodmanson actually was. Plays the ball down the line. Collins is going to clear it straight into touch. Another throw in for Leeds. Ampadu getting ready to take a long throw in. He's just getting a different ball. Everyone thought he was going over to take it from the wrong place. Yeah, but is Aronson on the bench, Clive? I don't know if I read his name out then, is what I'm asking, because I can't remember whether I saw him or not, because I was half concentrating on reading, half concentrating on watching the game. Yes, Aronson is on the bench. I forgot about that. There we go. Throw in then. Long throw in from Ampadu. Comes in towards the box. Flicked on. Ball bouncing around and eventually cleared there by Ouattara, I think it was. Here's Bogle. Now Ampadu. Ampadu still going here. Now Goodmanson. Trying to go past Jensen. Jensen stops him there, really, but I think there was a bit of a pull on his shirt. Maybe not enough for a foul, but poor cross in the end from Goodmanson. Harrison and Piru, and to be fair, I think the whole Leeds bench is warming up. Strap tries to win that header away by Joe Rodon. Henderson tries to play a ball down the line to Ouattara, but it's going to be a Leeds throw in. Poor pass in the end. Goodmanson getting ready to throw that one in. Long throw down the line from Goodmanson. He's not got such a short throw in himself, you know. Potentially ready, can take those long throw-ins if Ampadu's not available to take him. Kelleher with a long clearance forward. Jacobiol clears that one. Poor touch from Rico Henry, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. To be fair, Virgil, I don't think he's made that... kind of 70th minute consistent change this season as much. I think he has made change. In the City game, obviously, he made changes at half-time. He made them in the 60th minute against Liverpool and changed things around, and he's getting better at it, and I'm appreciating the fact that he's getting better at it. Ampadu to Calvert-Lewin, back to Bogle. Bogle does so well there to get the ball to Rodon. Now Ampadu again. Bogle, Rodon. Good little bit of interplay there, but Bogle's pass just ahead of Rodon. Yeah, he definitely could, Clive. I think as effective as Okafor was in the first half, I've not really seen anything for him in the second half. And I think that potentially one of the things that Brentford did at half-time was to try and give Collins a little bit of extra help so that he's not struggling as much against Okafor. So potentially that could be... either him or Piru offers a bit of a different option as that second striker role, if you will. But to me, I think like having Calvert-Lewin and Metcher to bully the opposition backline was definitely more effective than having Okafor. And to me, I think it means that we need to go and buy another striker in January, because if you're going to play with two up top, you need like 3 or 4 strikers in case anyone gets injured. Yeah, either Piru or Nonto. For Okafor, to be honest. And because I think Okafor's had a better game than Calvert-Lewin, but Okafor can't do the things that we need Calvert-Lewin to do, if you get what I mean. Headed back across. Ouattara cleared away by Strauch well there. Bit of a flurry here from Brentford, and Leeds just need to be careful here and potentially make some subs to put the pressure back on that Brentford back line rather than the other way around. Yeah, exactly. Busy. I will call you Busy so that I don't have to try and butcher your name for you. There's a ball back to Kelleher now. Header by Damsgaard to Jensen. Now back to Damsgaard. Jensen again. The two Danish players. The ball forward here towards Rico Henry. Tries to put it in the box. It's 1-0 to Brentford here. Jordan Henderson. There was a potential of offside. There was a potential of offside there when the ball was played through to Rico Henry, but yeah, I'm not sure. It was against the run of play, like the commentator's saying, but you've got to make those decisions earlier. I don't know if he's offside. I think it's close. I think it's close. Oh, it was going wide as well. It was going wide and Biol touched it and then it hit. It's a Biol own goal if it's onside. And actually, you know, he might have had it covered. You're still checking it. Yeah, it was poor defending, it really was, but yeah, it's been given. But it wasn't his goal, it's an own goal by Jacobiol. It was going wide. James isn't even on the bench, he's injured, by the way, Simon. So it's actually Jacobiol that's coming off. It looks like we're going back into a 4-3-3. So Tanaka goes off for Aronson. And Biol off for Nonto. So Nonto, of course, is not in the back three, and I need to change that to, say, 3-5-2 as well, actually. So looks like we're going back into a 4-3-3 and Nonto's going on the wing. Here's Ampadu. Now Aronson. Cleared away there by Henry. Bogle now. Bogle's done really well. That's a foul there by Damsgaard, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Free kick to Leeds and a chance to put the ball in the box. Here's Anton Stack with the ball in. Oh, it's a really good ball as well, but Okafor can stop that, though. Here's Okafor. He's done well there. Cross the ball back in. Away by Collins. Headed away by Ampadu. Now Aronson. Aronson tries to just nick the ball gently to Calvert-Lewin, but it's cleared away and it's going to be another throw into Leeds. Ampadu then is going to take a long throw in here. Good long throw in there. Bouncing around. Shot. Saved by Kelleher. Really good save by Kelleher in the end. And it's going to be a Leeds corner kick. Come on, Leeds. Okafor was having his shirt pulled. Okafor and Aronson. And I think it was going wide. Yeah, it was either hitting the post or it was going wide, that shot. So it wasn't going in. Anton Stack with the corner. It's one of the worst corners I've ever seen. Hits the first man. Here's Aronson. Now Jayden Bogle. Now Nonto again. Nonto chips it in towards the box, headed away by Igor Thiago. Now Aronson. Cross towards the back post, over everyone. Poor in the end. I think it's hard to tell whether it was... yeah, Rico Henry was just onside, by the way. Headed away by Stack. Here's Ouattara now, though. It just doesn't work like I was wanting it to work, does it? Where I was saying that Leeds need to get away from the bottom three. It just doesn't work like that. You never just get away, do you? They'll win, they'll catch us up, and then we'll win. We'll go ahead of them, and it's just Goodmanson clears that one. Now it's gone out for a throw-in. Ouattara then with the long throw-in. Sorry, no, it's Coyote with the long throw-in. It was Ouattara who was telling to move. Ampadu heads that one away. Then Nonto heads it. Oh, good play there by Jan Elt. Here's Henderson. Tries to cross it in. Away by Rodon. Here's Stack with the ball out wide to Okafor. Okafor now on the left wing. Nonto on the right wing. Here's Okafor. Now Anton Stack. Bogle shanks it. Shanks it into the crowd behind the goal. I think Stack should have shot really from the edge of the box. Yeah, it's we need to be finishing these chances, really, don't we? Here's Aronson. Here's Goodmanson now. Good ball from Goodmanson to Okafor down the left-hand side here. Here's Okafor. Chance to put the ball in the box. Now Anton Stack. Stack goes to shoot. Blocked, but he manages to keep the ball. Here's Okafor with a chipped ball towards the back post. Bogle back across. Calvert-Lewin tries to get on the end of it, but just can't, and it bounces through to Kelleher in the end. Come on, Leeds. You've got 12 minutes plus whatever's added on to do something here. We're more than capable. Given the fact that we've created the amount of chances we have in this game, we are more than capable of coming back in this game. Who's Ampadu? Perry sends that one long up towards Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin does win the header, but not in the right direction. Here's Vandenberg. Now Kelleher sends that one long. Strauch trying to stop Ouattara. He's gone past him though. Ouattara in the box here. Drops it off. Bogle and Goodmanson do really well in the end to stop that, because that could have easily been 2-0. That really could have been easily 2-0. He's done well there, Goodmanson, to just read that. A couple of substitutions. Pontus Jansson look-alike in Christoph Ayer. And Vitaly Janelt takes his leave of the pitch. And Yarmouk is coming on as well for Brentford now. 10 minutes to go plus whatever's added on. You'd imagine probably 3 or 4 minutes for the VAR checking the substitutions. Throw in then. Long throw in here from Coyote. I don't think he has, though, Andrew. That's the thing for me. I don't think you can argue particularly that he is that. He can string a pass together. He's been shocking, really, this season when he has come on. Nonto does his bit defensively there and clears the ball away. That's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Jaden Bogle gives it back to Joe Rodon. Strauch with a long switch of play out to Okafor. Good touch from Okafor. Going past Coyote, or trying to. Still going here. Okafor tries to play the ball across. Aronson can't quite get there. It's cleared away. Stack back into the box. Calvert-Lewin. Back now to Joe Rodon. Jaden Bogle. Ampadu. Little chipped ball towards Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Bogle can't quite take it with him. Leeds have still got the option of going out wide, though, to Nonto. Here he is, Nonto. Ampadu with the first time pass into the box. It's behind everyone and away. One back, though, by Rodon. Now Ampadu. Come on, Leeds. We're putting the pressure on now. For the last 10 minutes or so, Brentford are very much going to sit in. Here's Ampadu. Goes to shoot. Blocked. Ampadu does really well to get the ball back to Nonto, though. Nonto's cross. Calvert-Lewin! 1-1! Never, ever write off Leeds United. 1-1. Calvert-Lewin, back post. Oosh! Have it! Come on! Calvert-Lewin, that's now like 4 goals in 4 games. 4th game in a row he scored. Bang! At the back post. I think that's 5 for the season now. What a goal. Ampadu does really well to slide the ball back out wide to Nonto. Oh, he's onside as well because of, I think it's Christoph Ayer is playing him off. No, sorry, it's Vandenberg, I think he's playing him off. Playing him onside, sorry. Ball comes back to the back post. Header, back of the net. Really good header. Look at the height he gets on the leap. I think it's, is it Ayer? Yeah, trying to get to him there, and he's just perfect header right in the back of the net. They're checking it for offside. Given. Check complete. Goal given. 7 minutes plus whatever's added on. Or 6.5 plus whatever's added on. Best scoring run for Calvert-Lewin in a row he's on his second in his entire career, which I mean is not doesn't say much, does it? But hey, thank you, Robert Wetzel, for the $5 super chat. Come on, lads, let's get another. Let's leave that up for good luck for a little while. Shout out, Robert, always coming in with the super chats. Rodon clears that one. Long ball down the line. Calvert-Lewin wins that header. Nonto trying to take it away from Christoph Ayer, but it's away there. I think they went to a back three, you know, a bit prematurely, perhaps. Leeds now with the ball out on the left-hand side. Gudmundsson carrying that forward. Gudmundsson still going here. Down the line. Gudmundsson drops that one back off to Ampadu. Ampadu goes for a shot from distance! Just past the post. Very close from Ampadu. Just past the post from Ampadu. Leeds are really in the ascendancy now. It hit Kelleher's water bottle. Yeah, it's not bad. Couple more like that. We've literally just equalised, Dave, so what's going on? Because I'm not a robot, Andrew, and we've just equalised and now we're pushing for a winner. So, of course, I'm going to get a bit louder and more animated. Otherwise, it's going to be boring as hell for anyone to watch. Also, it's not even about for anyone to watch. I'm excited because I support Leeds. The hell are you on about? Long ball forward from Brentford. Rodon lets that one go. It bounces all the way through to Perry. It was a bit of a shout there for a red card because Igor Thiago fell as soon as he went past Rodon, but I don't think there was anything in it. Here's Bogle. Oh, Bogle with a bit of a loose pass to Perry, but he's got plenty of time to send that one long. What's going on? Like, why is everyone like moaning when we've just equalised? Like, we haven't been bad in this game at all. The goal came against the run of play and we've equalised. That's literally football and also literally the Premier League. Shot from distance from Brentford. Edge of the box is bounces wide in the end. That's going to be a Lucas Perry goal kick. The offside here, Calvert-Lewin was onside, and it was the arm and shoulder of Sepp van den Berg that played him onside. Lucas Perry then getting ready to take this long goal kick. Sends that one long, Lucas Perry. Calvert-Lewin wins the header. Aronson can't quite get to the second ball, though, but Nonto can get to the third. Again, away by Christoph Ayer, who, by the way, I know they both played for Brentford as well, bears a striking resemblance to Pontus Jansson. He just maybe looks a little bit less gormless than Pontus did. Or does. He's still alive. In fact, he was at Elland Road the other week, wasn't he? Rico Henry. I feel like that was very Alan Partridge of me. Here is Jayden Bogle. Now Igor Thiago. Long ball down the line. Gudmundsson's chasing that one down, but it is going to bounce out for a Leeds throw-in. I know, Andrew. You say that, Andrew Parker, but we scored 3 against Liverpool, 3 against Chelsea, and 2 against Man City. So that, even against the statistics of our last games, long throw in from Ampadu down the line, headed away by Collins. Now away by Strout with his weak foot. It doesn't go very far, but that's a chance for Gudmundsson to get there, and he knocks that one down the line for Calvert-Lewin to chase. Collins has won that one, but it is going to be a Leeds throw-in, so a good chance for Ampadu to wang one in the box. Gudmundsson is coming off. I'm not sure why. Oh, he might be injured. James Justin is coming on. I think he's number 24. He is, I remembered that correctly. There we go. James Justin comes on for Goodmanson. Hi, Rad/Ben. Welcome. Yeah, he seems to be limping a little bit, but James Justin will do a job. Long throw in then coming into the box from Ampadu. Very deep. Kelleher tries to punch it away. He does punch it away. I think Aronson headbutted the Brentford player in the back of the head there, so it's going to be a free kick to Brentford. Headed by Rodon. Ampadu sends that one down the line. Oh, Nonto somehow kept that ball in there. And he's still got it. Oh, no, it's not. It's the throw-in now. Here's Collins. Now, some people get your dog to start watching the live stream. We're nearly at 200. Oh, no, we just went from 195 to 187. Never mind. Here's Igor Thiago. We've gone past the final whistle, the 90-minute mark here, by the way, and there is 5 minutes added on, so I'll just put that on the screen for you all to make you aware. Here is Jordan Henderson. Now Vandenberg. Now Coyote, back to Henderson again. Andrew Parker's clearly Scott Parker's brother. Here is Damsgaard dropping it off again. Actually, sorry, I think that's Yarmulke. Ball down the line, and that's going to bounce right out. Justin just ducked out of the way of that. It's going to be a Leeds goal kick. Jack Harrison is coming on for Noah Okafor. I don't really know what's the point. There we go. Harrison is on for Okafor. Perry then with the long goal kick. Just over 3 minutes to go here, plus whatever's added on for the stoppages in play after it. Here's Ayer. Dropped off to Coyote. Now Henderson, who's dropped deep. Long switch of play by Henderson. Just Jayden Bogle heads that straight to Damsgaard and then to the edge to Ouattara over the bar. But you just need to be so careful in those final moments. I'm not looking at the chat for the last 2.5 minutes here, by the way, because we've got some people who definitely will spoil it. So I'm just not even going to look at it. In fact, I'm going to minimize it. So I won't be reading chat until the end of the game. Here is a long goal kick from Lucas Perry to come. Long ball forward. Calvert-Lewin goes up for the header. Doesn't win the header, but eventually Leeds nearly come away with the ball. But it's a bit of head tennis at the moment as Ampadu wins that one. Here's Bogle and Leeds finally do have the ball. Ball down the line here. Cut out, but good tackle by Calvert-Lewin means it's a Leeds throw in. 2 minutes to go here, and Leeds with a chance to try and put some pressure on. I don't know if he's. I think he's making the edge of the box from here. It's the kind of territory where you're not probably making it right onto the 6-yard box. It's not bad though, because Strout can come and get. Strout handballed it though. Unfortunately, that's going to be a free kick to Brentford. Kelleher getting ready to take that one. I mean, that's definitely not where the free kick was from, but okay. Kelleher with a long ball forward. Away by Rodon. Rodon feels like he was fouled, but he wasn't. They're in the box here. Brentford tries to shoot again, blocked, and eventually away by Anton Stack. And that's going to be offside against Brentford anyway, but geez, that was close. Rodon feels he was fouled there, and he's still on the ground at the moment, rolling round. Yeah, he was offside there, but Leeds just managed to weather that storm anyway. Look, our record in London is absolutely shocking, and also against Brentford, other than the one to keep us up, is absolutely shocking. So it is not a disaster to get a point. That's a complete dive from Calvert-Lewin. You knew you were never going to win that. Away by Strauch. Strauch can win that header again, though. Aronson tried to flick it on, but he can't. Again, a long hoof forward by the Brentford back line. Well, that's the final whistle, and like I said, I'm not massively upset with a draw. It would have been nice to move away, but to keep picking up points is exactly what you need to do to survive in the Premier League, realistically, isn't it? Yeah, slightly frustrating, like some people are saying, but it's not completely the end of the world, is it? Look, against the run of play they scored, I think our game plan was absolutely fine. And I think our game plan was absolutely fine, and we grew into the game, we improved, we looked like we were going to win it, and their goal completely came against the run of play when, realistically, we'd created enough chances to score in that game. So it's our players letting Farke down a little bit in that sense. I don't think Farke had particularly done anything wrong in the way he set us up for this game. I think the game plan was good. I think we were close to getting the better of Brentford here, but it's always a tough place to come. Literally, the commentators just said, for those of you wondering, the commentators just said, statistically, a very difficult place to come and pick up points this season is Brentford. A lot of draws have happened there, so it's not the end of the world, I don't think. And look, when we quickly, before I end the stream, we quickly look at the league table. Leeds United table, here we go. Leeds United, 16 games played, 16 points. If we continue on a point per game, you end the season with 38 points, and I think that is enough. I think that's enough to survive. Hopefully we get more than a point per game, but at the moment we're okay. Look at Wolves, they're on 2 points. We're 6 points clear of Burnley, we're 3 points clear of West Ham, with a better goal difference than West Ham. So even if West Ham win next week and we lose, we still don't go below them. So keep the faith, marching on together, and I'll see you in the match reaction after this one. And then, of course, there's thanks Jar LFC. Always good to have reasonable, normal fans of other clubs in the chat. And West Ham have got Man City next. Great shout. Thank you. Exactly. So draw's not the end of the world. Thanks, everybody. Check out the match reaction after this, and then, of course, there will be a tactical preview, and then after that as well, there will be there'll be the live stream of the next game, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I shall see you in the next one.